Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Monday, and that means another slice of the Plastic Crack Podcast. Welcome to everybody joining us tonight. How are we, chaps? How are we?
I wonder where you're going with that.
I wondered where he was going with that as well. I'm all right. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm all right.
Yeah, same. A bit tiring. I don't know what's going on. It's only Monday. It feels like it's already about Thursday or something.
Very long Monday. Anyway, welcome to Season 6, Episode 39 of the Plastic Crack Podcast. Q&A with the PCP. I know over the past few months we've had quite a lot of questions asked, but it's been a while since we did an actual Q&A episode. So people have been leaving questions in the Facebook group, which I'm going to start with in a little bit. And then we're going to move on to questions in the chat. So if I don't start starring stuff, can you guys keep an eye out on things? Any
Absolutely
interesting questions appear, to star them, and we'll get to those later. Yeah, don't forget we are sponsored by Boards and Swords Hobbies. Use the code PCP5 when you're checking out on the web store for an additional 5% off your already discounted order. And a big thank you to everyone that's watching on the catch up. Always appreciate your views. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments. I'm on a roll with that. That may have been the most smooth and most professional.
Rolls off the tongue.
You are the most professional of us all. That's all
that I've ever
saint of the shills.
Absolutely. I'm going to even promote the Facebook group. Links down below to all our channels, including the Facebook group. If you want to join the group, just click on the link. Answer Dom's questions 3, and you shall be admitted entrance to, as Paul calls it, or is it Paul and Warren call it, the nicest part of the internet.
Well, I think it's good because our group marks my own post as spam. So it's that exclusive. Yeah, it was about a month ago. It marks when I was putting up the photos of the raffle winners. It marked the one from War Bases as spam.
That's ridiculous. I mean, sometimes when I go in there, there's nothing. It's just a post. I mean, sometimes if there's a link, it may think that you're trying to link to some.
It's actually Paul Richardson. Now, every time he puts up, he'll put up a post. It just randomly decides it's spam, so he has to. He messages me, and I just sort of like, yeah, I'm off. And then I think the last post he just put I am spam. So he's fully embracing his identity.
No, as I said before, if you do post in a Facebook group and the post doesn't appear, there's a good chance it's been incorrectly flagged as spam. So just get in touch with one of us, and we'll get it put up in a group. Sometimes we go in, it's like 5 or 6 posts have been blocked.
It seems to do it in chunks. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it does seem to do it in chunks. But yeah, it's not us, honestly.
It's not us. It's not us. No, it's just overzealous spam filter on Facebook, stopping us from seeing all your wonderful posts. Right, before we get on to what we've been up to, let's see who's in here. So David Baker, Pat Neal, Red Steph, Bigger City. So Don's working on more epic AWI tonight. Cold and very windy in these parts.
Heading towards
Benjamin
Thanksgiving as well over there. So.
Oh yes. So Benjamin from a snowy Denmark, Rich Horse from a damp, miserable Hull. He's painting a 3D printed Norman church. Carl Burks, it's pleasantly warm in Saddleworth tonight. He's working on some 15mm classical Indians. Sam Rushmere, Nick Dawson. Speaking of Paul, hello from Mercia, where it's cold, just cold. More Huguenot infantry. It must be cold if he's not regaling us with the delights of the Mercian weather. Counter 7, a frost-flecked Ontario. Trevor is stripping paint of classic old hammer models tonight. That sounds enthralling. Mobile and Hostel, Mozart. It's so in northern Sweden, it's dark and cold. You celebrate by painting an Eldar.
Isn't that just the definition of northern Sweden at this time of year?
Dark and cold. Camberwell Johnny, Howard Roberts, Lionheart, Mike Schubert, Mark Riding, John Sowerby, Gwenna Prego. Hello, Anthony, doing well. Andrew King, Nick Games, Mark Hartridge, Moraine, San Antonio. Happy Thanksgiving week to all. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all our viewers across the pond. Hope you have a good time. Noosphere has made a terrible mistake. He's ordered some Warhammer 40k Eldar. Nostalgia is it? I can testify to that. I feel your pain. I feel you. Although I've reined in my spending on that because I've got more to paint than I've done, so I don't need any more at the moment. Wargamer of Kent, Rock and Mall, 15mm Greek hot plates today. Double dip, Steve Harbour. He's adding flags to 15mm ACW this evening.
Nice.
Lindsay, old school FRP. Dave Benton, Joseph Kananovitz, Trash. He's freezing his Covenanters off up here. Good evening. Yeah, I can imagine it's pretty dicey.
Pretty Jurassic up there.
Yeah, Real Stee is painting Mark III armor Imperial Fist. We can now start. The Real Stee is here. Just
good. That's fine.
Real Stee is here.
Time.
Yes. Laser Pirate Painting working on some more halflings for Kings of War 4th edition. Wargaming History. Matt, he's working at cold and wet in West France. He's assembling some Belgian 20mm trucks and artillery pieces ready for undercoating. Shakos and Spruce. Hello, James. Nathan McGowan is working on some Baron, building foot knights, my Baron's war forces. I'm currently building some peasant levy for my my Baron's war forces.
I'm doing some peasants as well. That's exactly what I'm making. Just some more.
See, so they can die gloriously.
Yeah, Crackgun's given me a taste for leading peasants into a very untimely and messy demise. Jack Greenaway, Paul, hello, Paul Hicks, he's here. Mike Blake, his PCP hoodie, mug and dice rocked up today. Very happy.
Excellent. Well, good. I got my hoodie on.
So you're wearing yours, aren't you?
I'm
white. Gone all white.
Major Clanger, Mogsy Mix. Hello, James. How you doing? Well, mate. Miniature Lowlander. Long time listener, first time commenter. Good stuff.
Hey, thank you. I saw something in the news that I'm assuming James has already seen, but I know James likes Lucid Eye, and they've got some new models. I got them from the news section. I'm assuming he's already seen them, but I thought he might be interested.
Lucid Eye do some nice figures, don't they?
This might have clinched my. But what scale I'm doing something in now, so but we'll come on to
that. Carazette's here, old school FRP, Greedy Dicks, evening chaps, Wout Hendrickson, Steve's got shills, they're multiplying.
Very good.
I didn't want to sing that in case of a copyright claim or something. The Hobby Brush, Valley Boy, NZ. Bay of Plenty, double misery morning here with Wales losing to the All Blacks and the ABs losing to England. I actually watched the Wales match on Saturday.
No, he put up a bit of a fight.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, they did a good account of themselves. Tony's here. Murray Heresy from good evening, North Yorkshire, having a relaxing evening watching the PCP after playing in a weekend 30k Siege of Campaign event. That's good. Were you there, Dom?
Cool. Oh yeah. What's Siege of Campaign again? Remind me.
That Siege of Terror campaign event for 30k. That sounds brilliant.
Oh, that sounds fun, actually.
That does sound really.
That sounds fun though. Doing a campaign event. For 30k would actually sounds pretty cool. That's quite.
Daisy 50, even from dank Sussex coast, scratch building fencing. John Hart is painting Bond inspired spies and bad guys. Awesome.
Nice.
Mark Hartridge, Ben Lowry from Tennessee, working on some 28mm AWI. Bitsy's here. It's going to do that thing in a minute. David Kerr.
Variety of everybody. It's just in the space of about 5 minutes. So many different things. It's unbelievable.
It's there's a lot of good diverse, good mix of things being worked on tonight. Good stuff. Speaking of which, what's everyone been up to? Let's start with Dom.
Oh, hang on. Right, hang on. I'll put my sprue down.
Spot there.
Yeah, I just had to put my sprue down. It's all fine. This week I've been mostly cavalry. Finished up with a bit of a weird. Something must have come over me a bit odd. I did a few more of the Templar knights.
Oh, nice.
The mounted ones.
Cool. Nice.
I did the dismounted ones last week, so I saw these. And after Martin taught me how cavalry work in our game the other week, I thought I'd get some cavalry up to speed. So did them, did the knights, and then I did 3 sergeant at arms to go with them. So they're all metal foundry ones from the Kickstarter, the Ultramare one. Some time ago, and then I realised I had a whole load of. I didn't realise I have got a whole load of old medieval knights that I did some time ago, and I really never was terribly happy with how they came out. So I got fiddling around with those and started to touch them up a bit and redo.
Oh, lovely! That yellow's really nice.
Yeah, it's come out all right, hasn't it? The first version I did of it was terrible, which is why I wanted to get and have another go at it. So I'm quite pleased how it's come out this time around. I still wanted them to be slightly dirty, campaigny look, but they were a bit too much before. But yeah, got some transfers on them and whatnot. And then so they're the ones with barding, and then I had a whole load without any barding. This is a real mixed bag of knights. God knows where these all came from, but I just thought I'd while I had the brushes out and the washes out, I'd have a go and tart them up too. So if I need any without any barding, that's them. And I say then I really don't know what happened to me. Apart from SPQR, what's the one thing in ancient wargaming I always say I don't do?
Romans.
Yeah,
is that I can't.
Why did I do
there
that?
we go. Yeah.
Are those the ones that you just undercoated that were sitting?
Yeah,
around?
yeah. When you were around, you saw them all sitting on the side, and I thought I really, really must do them. So I've got another group of the same number. I'm going to a cohort, whatever. I don't know what they're going to be, but I just thought sod it and painted. And Steve, you'll be proud of me, mate. Not a drop. Actually, no. I was going to say not a drop of wash was used on them, but there was a tiny bit of wash used on them. But I actually tried a different way of painting them, and it was quite quick and all right. So yeah, so that was it. Really
nice Roman unit, though. Yeah, they're really, really cool.
It's done.
Very nice work.
It's done. There's another same unit again, same size unit again to be done. So I'll probably get around to them in about 6 years' time. They've been sitting around in here for so long because originally I was going to use them as imitation legionaries for one of my successor armies, which is why I'd got them. And I'd had them so long. And they were stuck on the tongue depressors. And, even when you just use normal Yoo-hoo glue, they pop off real easy. But if they've been on there for a couple of years, they take a lot of pulling off, I have to say. They were really hard to get off the sprues. So I thought, bloody hell, these must have been sitting there a long time. So, that was my week this week, painting ones. And today I'm mostly making peasants up. So,
yeah, that's what I've been doing. I'm going to have to give Benjamin a slight warning, though. Don't traumatize me, mate.
Does he get a yellow card for that one? Does he?
Not quite, because it's quite funny, but they're not funny to build, though. You can take it from me; they're not funny to build. Oh God!
Yeah.
Thankfully, I'm never making any of those ever again. The rest of them. And they're all. Do you know when I decided to multi-base them? I didn't even bother taking off the base. I just glued the bases straight down onto bigger bases. I thought, you know what?
Yeah,
life's too short. Life's too short to remove individual skeletons' feet from bases. I'm just not going to do it.
Too bloody right.
Not going to do it. Not my thing.
I didn't pull off any Romans, Anthony. I can assure you.
I'm glad that it wasn't. That kind of. I sat there going, "Shall I say anything, or do we just?"
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't pull off anything. I assure you.
Just, I don't monetize the stream anyway. So, but if we could leave it at there, I'd be eternally grateful. I don't want to be getting a bad reputation for unmitigated filth on my channel. So, Martin, what have you been up to?
What have I been doing? I finished painting up all that stuff off the market stall. The video went live today. But yeah, there's a lot. there's a lot of stuff in there, and then. But that's like after you've glued it all to tables and things. And there was a moment where I clipped it all off the sprues. I think I said, and I kind of looked at it all. I was like, right now what do we do now?
Where do I start?
So yeah, so it's good fun. So I wanted to. I decided like I wanted the whole lot done for the video. I wanted to like paint up the whole thing. So that's out now. There's a Saxon for sort of scale purposes there. So yeah, it's a good kit. I've seen a couple of comments already. You know, it's fair enough. Some people are concerned at the price, but I sit there kind of going, but you're not really going to need any more scatter scenery. You know, if you're playing a mass battle game, that's just going to sit in a village quite nicely. And if you're playing a skirmish game, you're going to be on a small table anyway. So there's a lot of stuff, and that's not even all of it in that picture. So I think you know, you pay it, you get it, and it's decent quality. So no, I think they've done good. They've done good with that. Other than that, I've been planning a lot of videos. I've sort of been, you know, planning out the next sort of few weeks worth of videos, and played a game of Blood Bowl on Wednesday, lost. Let's just leave it there. A new edition. Many people the other day, I received the. I would pick it up. I've got paint on my hands. The new edition. I say new edition. The new version of Beneath the Lily Banners turned up. So I've been reading that, and it's a lovely book. So I'll be looking forward to doing something with that. I know there was something in it that he's got this. He calls it foreplay. The session, so it's playing with, you know, like quite a lot of registers, but only on a 4x4 or 2x2, but playing with, you know, but to get you to basically you build up. So he's got a nice little linked campaign in there, which is meant for the Marburian War of Spanish Succession. But I think I could adapt it quite easily for the Great Northern War. So like the third, but you've only got 4 turns to. The whole point is it's like a 2x2 or a 4x4. You've got 4 turns to complete it, and you both have 4 units. And it's sort of, you know, for example, it's just say 4 units assaulting a position. That's the one in the book, and it's the idea is to, you know, teaching the mechanics. But also they could be used as, you can do lots of linked ones. So and it's stuff, you know, he's been doing this for a while. Barry, it's up on the website. He's done quite a few, and so yeah. And I realised, I think between me and Robin, we've kind of got everything to essentially make a Great Northern War version of the one that's in the book. So I thought that might be quite fun. But yeah, so I've just been reading that, and to be honest, and just been watching videos and terrible films. And
is there much difference in the rules, or is it just you know, kind of?
It's a tightening up. There's some rewording, and they were saying that the third edition, which is the actual third edition, which is based on the War in Ireland, so Orgrim and all of that. There was some. He says in the forward that there were some people who, I don't think understood it. It maybe been a bit too specific to that, not just realizing it's a general thing. So this one, even though it's based still on a conflict, the language is more tailored to a general feel. So, but the rules are essentially the same. I've read the third edition book, so it's essentially the same rule set, just tightened up, some more clarifications, more examples. The photography in there is fantastic. It's a beautiful book. So it's not, so he makes a big point in the forward of just saying it's not a new edition, it's just a refinement essentially, but yeah, it's worth it. Who did I lose Blood Bowl to? Well, if we want to be technical about it, I lost twice. So I lost to my daughter and to my cousin's other half in the same match. So I was being the protagonist by half time. I think 40% of my team was a casualty. So I just was not having fun. It didn't matter that my guys could catch the ball, because as soon as they got the ball, they were just murdered. So I know it's just fun. It's just fun, isn't it? That's it. I don't quite understand. I've been in one of the Blood Bowl Facebook groups, and it's quite funny because there's lots of people who are explaining the meta and the plays and the meta and the chances of succeeding. So if you have a halfling who's thrown down the table with the ball, you've got X percentage chance of running and doing it. And this is me. So I'm sort of looking at this going, I want to throw the halfling, and if it scores, then great. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I've got to put together my other team sometime soon. But yeah, just other than that, packing merch orders for the PCP. That's what all that down there is. All that stuff down there. That's
You're upsetting old ladies in the post office by queuing up with large piles of merch, were you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The full story. Yeah, I have to time it when I go there. But yeah, that's what I've been doing really. It's been quite nice. Just planning, lots of planning mainly.
Cool.
Nice. What about you, Steve?
I've actually done stuff, but again, no photographs because I'm working on this first retinue for Barons. I want to do it all in one go. So I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the week because I've only got to do a last unit of peasant levy. But I've completed my archers, the sergeants, the foot knights, the command. I've completed both my barons. So I've got Ranulph de Blondeville and Sire de Quincy. So they're all done. Just enjoying working on it. I'm saying to Dom before I came on. I purchased some tabletop workshop buildings as part of their Black Friday deal for Barons War. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting on the tabletop. I've enjoyed painting them as well. It's been good. And do you know what? Do you know what I've always said? Oh, I never use varnish, me.
Yeah,
I've actually started once the figure is completely painted, even if it's plastic. Because these are all plastic. It's just giving them a brush with this Warlord Games anti-shine matte varnish. It does make a difference. It just brings the colours all down.
It just brings it all together, doesn't it? I think it just it helps the colours mold together a bit. And
So yeah, traditional gamer from last week. I'm now using anti-shine matte varnish on my plastic figures.
Good man.
All very, very strange. But that hopefully, by the weekend, hope to have the full first retinue completed. And get some photographs done. I have really.
You gonna have a solo game, or you gonna have a solo game? Or
well, I've got to start my second retinue after that.
I suppose that's true, yeah. You need a size.
I've already got the foot knights done. I painted those last year. When I just randomly painted them, so it's just going to be more sergeants and more archers and levy. But hopefully, next sort of 2 or 3 weeks, I'm actually, because I've finally got over this bloody plague that I've had for the past sort of 5 or 6 weeks. I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm really back into painting again. So yes, it's been good. Getting back to it. It's been really good. Nice. Although last week, everything just seemed to break. You know, the visor that I use.
Oh yeah.
That broke. One of the arms fell off.
Oh.
And then I managed to fix it, but I bought a new one just in case. After I finished that, went next door. My lava lamp exploded.
Oh.
So yeah, but I've not had a great week as far as things not breaking. I've always based tanks.
Yeah, he's sensible. Only weirdos don't base tanks.
One of us. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I have been experimenting with varnish because some of the washes I've been using recently have dried slightly glossy, so I've gone in with a bit of varnish. But I just love the muteness it brings to the overall finish of the figures. I think especially on these archers, they look really sort of grim looking because of the varnish. I'm really quite chuffed with them. But yeah,
well, that survey is going to be skewed next time.
Oh, it will be. I'm gonna break the survey.
Love it.
Is it the 70? I love. Well, I say I love my lava lamp. I love my lava lamps because I've had 3 catastrophically break in the past 12 months. So yeah, you've been taken off by aliens. I have indeed. Right, so on to a bit of Q&A. The pros and cons of the lava lamps.
I mean, it sound like one of the cons is having it explode all over your desk. It sounds like.
Well, look, thankfully, the actual thing didn't explode. The bulb exploded, but it completely catastrophically wiped out the connection. It was all melted and just shitty looking. So yeah, it erupted.
It did erupt. There you go.
Right, on to a bit of Q&A with the PCP. So like I said earlier, we get asked quite a lot of questions, but it's been a good while. I can't remember the last time we did an actual Q&A episode. So we've got quite a few. On my secret to come out tonight, yes, I have a lava lamp. Luckily, I got to sort of replace it. Last year for Christmas, my brother got me a glow in the dark lightsaber in like this cool red color. So I do like my lights. Right, on to some questions. We're going to try and fly through these because I think there's quite a lot. And then we've got some starred as well that we're going to go through later. So here we go. The first one's from Steve. As you know, Steve loved Kings of War by Mantic Games. That's why he owns 400. Yeah,
he owns everything, doesn't he? Doesn't he own the entire?
Oh, I never knew.
No, he did. Yeah,
he keeps it quiet, Martin. You probably didn't realise.
So he's put. Now I know rank and flank fantasy battle isn't your thing, but with 4th edition just around the corner, if you had to collect, paint, and play any of the armies available, which would you choose and why? I'm gonna start with Dom because I'm fascinated hearing.
I have no idea what the armies are.
I think in Dom. Let Dom go. I can give while Dom looks it up on the website.
I'm going to look them up. Hang on.
Okay, go on. I'll look at it.
Yeah.
So I actually have. Well, I have 2 Kings of War armies. I have what I repurposed my Empire army into.
Oh yes, you did. Yeah.
Whatever the hell the equivalent is in Kings of War. Is it Basilian Empire or something like that? So they're quite fun. But for the actual Kings of War one, I bought the starter set that had the Northern Alliance in them, which are essentially the wildlings from Game of Thrones. But I liked them because it was humans that had trolls and dwarves with them, and I quite liked the idea of that. So apparently it's the kingdoms of men. Basilians are angels. All right, okay.
Consider yourself taught.
There you go.
Yeah. So I like the idea of the Northern Alliance. They look sort of. I really like the look of them. They're sort of like sort of Inuit looking guys, and with a massive troll behind them, which I like to think was actually chasing them into the battle. But they had some really cool like ice golems and things like that, and I liked the idea. I thought it was quite cool, and more fantasy things are doing this now, whereby you're not just sticking rigidly to sort of one fantasy race. Obviously it's fantasy, it's nothing to stop you doing it, but so there was dwarves, humans, and some monsters that have all banded together. I don't know what the lore is at all. I don't know what the story is, but I quite liked that idea. So yeah, I picked up that one. I was less keen, and I sold them I don't even know what they're called, but they're like undead or nightmares, but they're lots of pumpkin-headed people. I liked the models. But just not in that situation. I just found it a little bit funny. I don't know if it might be, but I was just kind of like, you got these like born again hard sort of Northern Alliance, essentially fighting Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. So but that's what I would do. So if I was going to do it, I would continue with Northern Alliance. I have a half an army painted. I just never did anything else with it.
Dom, have you done some research very, very quickly?
Well, I've already bought 4 armies. I've just looked at them. They're fantastic, aren't they? I like this.
He's not actually joking. He's just bought 4 armies.
No, I literally have. No, I haven't. Empire of the Dust. They look cool. I like them. Jeez, they're like thingies. They're yeah, I like them. They're very cool indeed. Yeah, I like them. And the other one I liked, Twilight Kin, because I love the purple.
Oh, they're dark elves, aren't they? That's
I don't know.
I think they're like dark elves. That's what I think they are anyway.
I'm just looking on. I don't know, but no, I think definitely the dusty fellas. They'll do. Yeah,
the dusty fellas.
Yeah, dusty ones. Empire of the
mine would be the Halflings, because I absolutely love the models. They're really, really nice. In fact, I actually looked at using them to do a Warlords of Error one, Halfling Warband. But no, if I had to do a 4th edition Kings of War, it'd be Halflings or dwarfs, because I do like the dwarfs as well. They look really armored and brutal looking. But now my first choice would be Halflings. We've got Halflings, Dusty Blokes, and the Northern Alliance.
Oh, they got brilliant, these fellas. I'm having these. They've got all sorts of stuff. They've got mummies and all. Oh yeah, they look like some. Oh, now. Oh. Yeah, that's it. That's me. I'm forward.
Okay, cheers, Steve. Hope that they were good answers for you. Okay, here we go. From Holden. Inspired by Yorkshire Gamers' Mentana project, I've been mocking up a few kit bashes for the Guerra del 41, fought between Peru and Ecuador. What is your unheard of period of war choice, and how likely are you to pull the trigger on the project?
Well, the one I very, very nearly did, I talked about this one.
I know what you're going to say.
It's the Ethiopian against the Ottomans one. Well, I bought a whole load of figures. I bought a whole load of Portuguese-style figures to do it. And then I just went, that's just stupid. You got far too many. And then they were being repurposed into the Italian wars. But yeah, that whole campaign of the Portugues in sort of India and then into Ethiopia against the Ottomans and the pirate kingdoms and various others. It was just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So that still might happen.
Cheers, Steve.
But yeah.
We have approval.
Cool. So that is still that may happen still. So there's a good chance that...
I'm trying to be strong, Steve. I know it doesn't seem like it, mate, but I am trying to be strong, and I'm trying to. Like I've put all my Conflict 47 stuff up for sale. I'm getting rid of stuff I'm not going to do, so I don't really want to get into something new. So I don't know, but it does fascinate. I do like the history of it. It's absolutely fascinating, and I've done a lot of reading around it. I think it's a really interesting period, and one day I'd like to get out to Ethiopia and see some of the sites there because it'd be fabulous. But yeah, maybe not. What about you?
That would be the inspiration, wouldn't it? That would be the
that would be. There would definitely be a mega purchase on the probably the last night in the hotel would be. Yeah, it would be waiting for me when I got home.
So keep an eye out next year, folks, because you may very well see that at some point.
It's possible.
So, Martin, what about you? What's your unheard of war?
I mean, I've said a couple previously, but it's not particularly. I wouldn't say it's really unheard of, but I would say it's probably less gamed. When I was sort of doing my video, I didn't find that many people who'd done projects. There were a couple on Lead Adventure who had done stuff, but ever since I read that book on the Swabian War, I was quite taken with the idea of just angry Swiss with a death wish and nothing to lose. Who don't just trying to see off the Holy Roman Empire and just fighting off Maximilian. I think that I just quite liked the idea. I mean, it was brutal. It was brutal. You know, it's a sort of a 1 year thing, and essentially paved the way. You know, the Swiss Confederacy. It paved the way for what was to come, and it put Swiss. You know, it really drew. You know, even though. I guess it was sort of a no-score draw because even though Maximilian lost, did he really? You know, he just kind of tried. He started other wars to try and get everyone to forget about it. And then the Swiss obviously became the powerhouse they are and ended up being these
chocolate lovers.
Yeah. But just I just quite liked it because of the variety of the troops and the idea, is there was lots of, obviously the combat in the mountains, but there was some really, really interesting battles, lots of ambushes, and just nutters with pikes just running down slopes, doing not fighting with pikes the way pikes should be fought with, and upsetting Maximilian, who thought he was Europe's main character. So it sort of acted appropriately. So yeah, it was. If I was to do something, I would do that. I mean, previously, I think I'd said things like, oh God, I can't even think now. I did think about the sort of the American Mexican war, not the Alamo, but the actual the one afterwards. And I sort of came up with, I still would really like to do it. It's really interesting. I've got a whole load of books on it and watched a bunch of documentaries. But it was really depressing reading it, which is silly, really, isn't it? Because we read all these books about wars, and none of them are nice, and there's some quite. But there was just something about reading about this one, and obviously, it's just sort of, I don't know what it was. I just found the whole thing quite. I started out as really interested, and I'm still really interested in it as a subject. But the idea of wargaming it just kind of, sort of floated away. And I was talking about this with Dom when I went down to his the other day. I've got a bit of an interest in doing some World War One stuff, but not the Western Front. So either doing some of the Ottoman stuff, or maybe the Italian Austrian
in the mountains
front. Which were really interesting. So it's weird because, we were talking, wasn't I? Because I was talking about Gallipoli, and I just said, part of me was sort of really interested in maybe gaming that, and then the other part of me is sort of like, oh no, it's a bit. Do I want to? But then I'll happily play a World War II game. I don't know. Just like the psychology is weird, but I quite like to look at that. I'm intrigued by this 0 hour that's coming out, and the Woodbine design stuff is really, really nice. That Gripping Beasts have, so that might help. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we see something like that. So there you go. It's free. So.
I do like the idea of the those Gripping Beast rules. I'm like you, Martin. When I went to Gallipoli last year, and it was one of the most moving places, a bit like going to the battlefields of the Somme and what have you as well. Very similar, amazingly moving as a place, but fascinating. I wouldn't want to do the Western Front particularly as World War One, but just cut myself. The some of those wars, the ones in Africa, I'd love to do. I think really,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What about you? I can't. It's gonna have to be the War of the Triple Alliance. That's fascinated me from the first night I even realized it was a thing. And I don't know what it is. I just think the idea of collecting, because I would be painting and collecting both armies, because my mate's not gonna. I'm gonna say to him, mate, it's a good idea. Let's have a break from World War II. Do you fancy this? It's an entirely metal range. What's that? You no interest. So it'll be me by collecting both armies. But I don't know. The chances of me actually finishing one army is slim to zero. But you never know. I can say never say never. But that will be the one. I think that's ever since I found out about it, and then I found out that the Perrys did that the range of figures for it.
You've been wobbling on the edge of that one for
but of course they've done the rules for Valor and Fortitude, haven't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you've got a free rule set there. With 3 stats, 4 written with Jervis Johnson and the Perrys.
It's just the idea of painting two large armies. I don't know. That's what.
Steph's got it right.
Yeah, that's definitely an option, Steph. Definitely an option. Like I said, it's one that I've not completely closed the door on. And occasionally it opens a bit more. I mean, I've lost count how many times I've been on the Perry's website. Just looked at them, but
I genuinely thought you would have done it by now. I honestly thought this was at some point there was going to be one of our wrap-ups, and there'd be some sort of really obscure regiment.
I think what would happen, I'd be really enthusiastic about painting it for about 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah,
and I think I'd really lose interest quickly.
It's a good shout to do something like a skirmish game with it.
Yeah, it would be.
You know, to do a sharp practice or something similar to see how you get on.
As I've said before, though, it's a fascinating, and like mine said with the one that he mentioned, it's rather depressing as well. It's it's just there's all kinds of grimness going on to it, and just it's not.
Yeah, because wars are always so happy things.
Yeah,
you know
there are grimmer ones than others.
There are, but this one, the ramifications it had on the region for years afterwards is just brutal. But that would be the one that's always stood out for me. That if I had to, if I know how to do it, I think I don't know. Maybe I'll win the lottery and I'll be able to retire early. And
Dom, should we just for Christmas push him over the edge and just like?
I'm firmly convinced that's the right thing to do. Yeah. It's the moral thing to do, Martin. Because
moral thing to do.
He's desperate to do it. Really, he's just trying to, be honourable.
Make me paint a bunch of metal figures. Okay. Yeah. Up next is one from Steve. This is going to be a dangerous one. If money, space, and time was no object, what would be your dream project?
Money. Hang on, I'm going to money, space, and time. Is this? Do we have to pick from figure ranges that exist?
Well, I just said if money, space, and time was no object, what would be your dream project? So, a bit of artistic license going on.
To do a complete recreation of all the armies from the Silmarillion. And not the Lord of the Rings, but everything from the first age of Middle Earth, including all of the gribbly big monsters, all of the different Balrogs. So then you can play one of the 28-day-long battles that happens in there, like was it the Battle of Unnumbered Tears, which is just an ace name, and play that. Steve's wincing. I
have literally no idea what any of this means.
And then you can have like Mongolian, and then Morgoth at full size, which would probably be the size of a 40k Titan.
I love it when you talk about Lord of the Rings, because Steve has no idea what you're talking about, and I do.
Great, isn't it? Yeah, I wanted to find out. Like, there was one of these one of the battles Tolkien described. I think it is the Battle of Unnumbered Tears. So they're having, the big the elves and the men and dwarves are winning, and they push the orcs back to the mountain, and essentially Morgoth just the mountain erupts and then fire out, and then all the Balrogs come out, and so there's that one Balrog, obviously, that if you're looking at the films, Durin's Bane, the one that beats the crap out of Gandalf. Well, I mean, Gandalf kills it, but there's 12 of them, and they stomp the Elf King until he's essentially red mist on the floor. And it's dark as hell, the Silmarillion. I love it. But yeah,
I actually own that.
What, the Silmarillion?
Yeah. I own.
Would you use it as a coaster?
No, I've got a really old. I think it's Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, in an old box with a picture of old Tolkien on the back. I've got the Silmarillion. I've got one called Unfinished. Is it Unfinished Tales? Or
Unfinished Tales, yeah. Unfinished Tales.
Yeah, I acquired them many years ago. Just not read them. Well, I've tried.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do, because that would be a dream project. But absolutely, I agree, James. There's no logic.
No logic at all. None at all.
I'm afraid to ask. Go on, Don. What's your one?
Well, it's an interesting one. Funny enough, I think a couple of people have said it in the chat already. Steph has, and who else said it? Somebody else has talked about it. I'd love to do Leipzig, 28 mil refight. Recreate every battalion that was at Leipzig and do it in 28 mil. That would be awesome. I think that's a fascinating battle. Well, multiple battles really. But that would just be awesome. So, yeah, I would do that. I would probably hype up my Swedes to actually have a decent role in it, unlike the real thing. But that would
do you know what the best bit of Leipzig is?
What's that?
When the young guard go marching down the hill and into the face of you. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I've forgotten about your moment of glory, your tactical genius at warfare. Yes, I'd forgotten that.
Have you not heard about that? Have you not heard about that moment when the young guard distinguished themselves and covered themselves in glory?
He picked up. He was given the role of defending. Bear in mind, the French were outnumbered.
He never said I was defending anything. He said we're fighting them.
Yeah, so he's got about half the troops of against the Allies sitting on a hill, nice strategic position, defending with a young guard, backed up by artillery and cavalry, and much to the amusement of every player around the table, Martin said, "First up, I'm going to advance down the hill." Sent all his young guards streaming down the hill.
I never said that I would. Oh yeah, why would you not advance in line? I watch sharp. You advance in line against cavalry. That's what he says, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was. Yeah, I mean, you survived the turn, so well done.
Yeah, I did. Like I told you, I did. Mark did send me the sort of the sit rep afterwards, and I don't think it was pretty for them.
No, that was even better. Was he did this, played one turn, and then he said, "Right, I've got to go now," and got up and walked off. And left.
Oh, Mark, yeah. I went back there later in the day to just look at absolute incredulity.
Oh dear, tactical genius. It's like the game we had last week, Steve, with when Martin came up. The most powerful missile units he had on the table were some marksman crossbowmen. What did he do with them? He sent them charging straight down the road to try and take one of the objectives, where they probably died en masse.
Because yes, thank you, Alex. The best defense is offense. There we go.
Yeah, second to that, expect the unexpected.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that I've sent them forward completely unsupported. If I'd have sent the whole, it's good. The reason I did it was because I had a card that gave me like 5 or 6 orders, and I used like all but one of them. And I had this one order left, and I was like, "What the hell? Oh, I'll just march with it. I'll just go forward." Everyone form square, bombard with the artillery. I've got one order left. They're not doing much. Forward, lads. It's all right. They'll never see it coming. As they were like these, like across the battlefield behind this hedge, they'd lined up all their cavalry. So it was like lancers, hussars, dragoons, all behind this hedge.
Come on,
it was good. And as for those crossbowmen, I only needed that objective to win, and I would have taken it. And if I also remember that battle correctly, I also went after your lord and then kicked the stuffing out of it.
You did. You completely did. You completely knocked the snot out of him and his bannerman. He chopped down
just for good measure, yeah.
And then just for good measure, he went in and took down the banner as well.
I like to think that he grabbed the banner and then just kept on hitting your lord with it.
I think you're probably right. Jeez, that was.
I think I channeled Fawkes de Boer perfectly for that game, because he didn't care. He didn't care about his forces. His subordinate was the one riding around, going, "Look at me! Come on, lads! Don't worry about those dead crossbowmen. It's okay. All right." The levy are running off, and then over somewhere on the other side of the village, there's it's just Fawkes de Boer just kicking the other lord, and that was it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dear me.
It's a good game. I enjoyed it.
I don't know what mine would be. I think if because I'm not blessed with space here, so that's always going to be.
But under this, you're allowed. You see.
So if I had unlimited space, time, and money, I think it would have to be. I'd want to set a massive setup like guy called Joe Bilton. He does some of the most amazing setups. I know Alex has had him on his channel. If I could spend just all my time just building a Stalingrad or just something like that I could have set up permanently, and it'd be massive and full of detail, and I didn't have to put it away at the end of it. I think that would be my ultimate thing. I've never been blessed with much space to game in. I've always lived in relative shoe boxes. But for me, I'd love an absolute just a proper huge, great big setup. That would be my ultimate dream project.
Mm-hmm.
That or things with Tournament 28. That's Tournament 28 in 54 mil. There we go.
A bit X.
That's where you get like just an actual carrot and stick it to his head.
Whack it on there.
Right. Okay. So Dave has left us a question each. So we'll run through these. This will be interesting. So Martin, you first. At what point in history did the balance of battlefield power switch from bows, crossbows, trebuchet, etc., to guns and cannon using a chemical explosive propellant? That sounds like a bad curry.
Say that again. At what point does it change?
At what point in history did the balance of battlefield power switch from bows, crossbows, trebuchet, etc., to guns and cannon using a chemical explosive propellant?
All right. So the first, arguably medieval casualty, at least English casualty at a cannon, is at Agincourt. But that's still the cannon, even through the Wars of the Roses, the cannon are unreliable and don't play, a huge amount. There's Castilian. What's the battle? Castilian, the one we lost just at the end of the 100 Years' War. Is it Castilian? Yeah. But I wouldn't say that the balance by that point is changing. I would argue that they're exceptions. Steph has said Pavia, but I think Pavia was still obviously there's still quite a reliance on pikes. If we're saying when do we change to firearms?
What, as the main weapon as opposed to just being the main missile
I would
weapon?
argue.
So the balance of battlefield power. Like I say, I mean, Pavia, but I mean, there was lots of cannon there, but was that wasn't changing the balance.
There wasn't a deciding factor. There was many. The Battle of Pavia, there were numerous factors, and undoubtedly they played a part. But when did they become the main? I would maybe the 30 Years' War is where the balance changes. Or arguably, just after
cavalry
that,
are very important there, aren't they?
Yeah, well, yeah, but cavalry is still playing an important role up to the Napoleonic Wars, and up all the way up to, for quite a while. But if you say where guns become, the main thing, so 30 years. I mean, but even then, so maybe you're even going up to, I would. If I can't think of a war, I'd have to just say probably the 17th century is where you see the switch. In my opinion, I don't think up until there's certainly battles that were decided by that, but I don't think that that was the norm. I don't think that that after that at the end of the day, it was still settled by men with spiky things, or people like chopping each other up. 30 years. I mean, John Sowerberry just put it. You had all the tactics of Gustavus Adolphus with the light cannons, the mobility of his troops because he was outnumbered. The fact that then you go into things like after that, the development into the Caroleans, where they were concentrated firepower, the whites of your eyes, taking all the firepower, but closing in, delivering volleys to smash them, and then charging. Well, I'd argue I'd say the balance changes around the way, but that's just my opinion. I know I appreciate others, but Go on then. What was the question? So we each had one individual question, did we? Yeah,
I'll do mine next. I can answer it really quickly. So, Steve, your preference for tiny figure counts in games and your reticence for physical engagement with people en masse in any way connected? No, I'm just massively antisocial. It's got nothing to do with my games. I just don't like being around other humans.
He gets ill. I
get ill. Look what happened. I spent 3 days in the company of other people, and I've been ill for 6 weeks afterwards. I'm just allergic to people. I was never years ago. I was very sociable. As I've got older, I've become less sociable to the point of I don't particularly like just being around people. Very curmudgeon.
Everyone here is welcome, but
Yeah.
But no, it's good. It's not linked to my gaming in any way. That's just me being antisocial. Right, Dom, on to you. Dom, you don't really enjoy assembling kits.
No.
And will be happy to farm painting figures out to your 3D printer. I'm surprised you haven't made the switch to larger scale gaming. The smaller figures are almost all one part. Painting is less onerous, much easier and quicker. What are you waiting for?
I do go with larger gaming. I do 28mm. What's wrong? I don't understand that one.
I think he's alluding to making the figures smaller so you can have lots more of them.
Oh, I see. Bloody 6mm again. I 28mm are king. They're pretty. Love them. Why would I farm out to? I mean, I think I've always thought 3D printer is just a support, part of the hobby. So if there's figures I can't necessarily get another way, then I'll do it. But it's smelly, it's different, it's time consuming. I don't mind doing it from time to time, but still prefer to keep buying the figures from time to time. So yeah, I mean, I don't particularly like making models, but some of them are better than others. So I'm not consistent. Whatever.
Well, there we go. Short and sweet and to the point.
Rare for me, isn't it?
Okay, up next is Nick. This is a good one. This are skirmishing games such as Pillage considered a true war game or a tactical board game with figures?
Oh God!
Lights the touch paper and stands back.
Yeah, nice one, Nick.
I mean, it's a war game. You play with toy soldiers, and it has rules and. Nice.
Well, you see, so it's a tactical board game. We come back to the thing we were talking about last week, which is you could have a mass battle game that's a tactical board game. People were arguing last week that To the Strongest is essentially a board game, and the games I've seen of To the Strongest have sort of 50, 60 units a side, all at 28mm. So no, my short answer would be no. I would argue the tactics are different, but in some ways the increased level of choice at skirmish about what depending on obviously how complex the rule set is and what you're trying to what's the right word? Mimic, what you're trying to represent, might even make them more tactical in some cases. Have you played Infinity? Oh my god. Oh my god. The rule book, there's 2 rule books for Christ's sake, because of the sheer number of skills and things that you're trying to emulate. They needed essentially just a reference book just for the skills. So my shot would be no. I don't think it's a tactical board game. Yeah, I can't really think of another way. I'd say. I'm sorry.
What's your stance on it?
To me, a tactical board game is board game is counters, cardboard counters. So no, I guess it's synced again. No, I don't see it. I don't see it as such. I guess probably what he's trying to allude to is the simplicity of the game. But there's plenty of simple rules and systems out there that you can play. Doesn't make them board games. So no, I think board game has counters and a board. If it has figures, then sort of models, and I know there are board games that do have models, but primarily they're just replacements for counters. So yeah, to me it's a war game, simple or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with my esteemed co-host here. Yeah, it is. For me, it's still a war game. It's still a war game. And I love skirmish games, so yeah, that's why. Oh, we all agreed on something. Fantastic.
Blimey, look at that.
It's an interesting one from Matt. So, He's got a friend who's starting out his hobby journey. He's played heaps of games with me, but only just now wants to get into painting. Should I let him use my paints and gear, or try to get him his own stuff? What would you guys do?
Own stuff.
Yeah.
Unless if we were painting together, like if he come round to paint, and he wanted to like obviously use a paint or needed a brush, that's different. You know, I would, if someone was getting into it, I'd invite them around for a paint to do a painting session.
Yeah, paint session.
Essentially like we are now. And I've done that plenty of times where you just come around, you paint, and you shared, I used to do that loads with my mate Kev. We used to it didn't just always game, we'd go around and just sit and paint. I'd bring around a few models that I was working on. We do some basing, or we'd share stuff there. But I feel like people if he's got his own stuff, then you can, whatever you teach or whatever you show him, he can then go home and replicate. I remember showing someone about how to do about dry brushing, and it was so cool because they were so excited at the end of it, because they were doing some fur on a chaos cloak, and that was ace. But no, I'd get him his own stuff, even just a basic army painter painting set. I think is the way to go. That would be my choice.
Cool. Dom, you agree?
Yeah, it's funny enough, when you first said it, I thought, oh yeah, I'd give them some paints to go off, and then I actually thought, no, I think you're right. I think that's a far better way to go about it. I mean, ultimately it depends on how trustworthy they are of friends. We've all had friends where we've lent books to, and you've never seen it again in your life. So the idea of giving them some paints and never seeing it again, if they don't bother, it was a bit worrying. So I think you're right. Encouraging them by bringing them round to do a painting session with them, to show them what how to go about it and the basics and what have you. And then ultimately, if they invest in buying even a modicum of just the basic paints, then they're probably more likely to continue than if you just give them everything, I would have thought.
Yeah. No, I agree with Dom. I think, and there's loads and loads of different starter things. Like you said, there's army painter starters, there's Vallejo starters. You can just get a really basic paint set, some brushes, and have at it. I agree with Craig here. Never lend books.
Yeah, we all learn that one very quickly in life, don't we? Never learn.
I might have told you, but I lent my it was like a special edition copy of American Psycho, and I lent it to my mate's wife, and she left it in the pub. Never saw it again. Didn't even apologize. Didn't even bother to try and replace it. It just went, "Oh, I'm sorry." So
dear.
That's why I don't lend books.
Yeah.
Right. We'll have one more question, and we'll move on to a bit of news. So the next one is. Oh, it's a good one. It's from Duncan. Which miniatures do you wish were available that aren't? For me, I would love Wargames Atlantic to do 10mm Franco-Prussian. So and then he's put, where is your next big project, and what period are you feeling love for? So bit of a two-part question there. So what miniatures do you wish were available that aren't, and what's your next big project?
Well, I guess the period that I just mentioned that I was tempted to start off with, one of the things holding me back was a decent range or availability of things like Ethiopian troops for that campaign, because there really aren't any. So you'd have to do an awful lot of adapting and changing. So that would probably push me over the edge if Wargames Atlantic or someone did 3D printed versions of them. Trying to think. I mean, I think I'm blessed with most of the periods that I game. Don't think there's anything, especially now with 3Ds. I don't know. There's an awful lot that I can't get.
I've got one.
So I think it'll be Ethiopian.
So mine is for a period that Dom and I, actually all three of us have done. And there is stuff available. There's stuff available in metal, and there's stuff available that's printed already. I would like someone to make an alternative multi-part set for 30 Years War, English Civil War plastics, please. So not just the Warlord ex-War Games factory set, which is a nice set. But when you've got quite a few of them, And then it would be nice. It would be. I could see what like Victrix or Wargaming been putting some really nice. I mean, in Victrix, because you get about 40 in a bag, that's like the whole regiment. You know, you can essentially, do. I mean, I know it isn't a Yorkshire regiment, but then, you know, you could, but then you could have 40 pikemen. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be clear because it's a not. I think it's a nice set, even though there's some issues going on with between the muskets and the pikemen in the site. Like the musket guys did not skip arm day, whereas they look like they dragged all of the pikemen out of the workhouse. They all look like chimney sweeps holding them. But it's a brilliant set. It's a fantastic. But I just feel it's one of it's a period that is gained a lot, in my opinion. But it's only got one. You know, there's horse that war games in plastic, and there's but Bicorn and Bloody Miniatures and First Corps, and I know there's other people I'm forgetting. Perry's.
Lots of lovely metals. You're right.
Lots of lovely metals. There's only one plastic infantry set.
Yeah, it's bizarre that, isn't it? I wonder why that is.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. That's a really good shout. I hadn't thought of that one. Yeah, very good shout.
Yeah.
I don't think I've never 3D prints either.
Yeah.
Very odd. Sorry, Steve.
I was going to say, I think mine would be a bit of an odd one. I know there's proxies out there for this, but I want an officially licensed, no proxies or anything dodgy, a range of 15mm Star Wars miniatures. I'd love that. Original trilogy only. We're talking just the first three. Nothing outside of that. That would be my ultimate. If I could get a sort of either plastic or resin, 15mm official Star Wars miniatures.
I hate to point this out to you, but you know, size wise, they go in the opposite direction, right?
Ooh.
It's all going bigger.
So I'll just recommend Highland. So does someone actually do them? Am I about to waste a lot of art?
Probably not officially. I don't know if they're probably not officially licensed because Disney would be.
What rule system would you use, Steve?
I would actually take a leaf from Alex's book and use Chain of Command.
Okay.
I know he's. No, so I want to play bigger. Bit sort of not massive games, but bigger than Skirmish, bigger than Space Widows. But yeah, I've seen Alex like he's played Star Wars Chain of Command in the past, and it looks really, really good. I remember years ago.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I remember years ago. We going back now. We did a Star Wars role play game, and I think we were using. It might have been 15mm metals. But I was a Jawa, and I had a Wookiee bodyguard. But I remember the figures that they were metal.
They're old West Wind production ones, or Alex has them. Alex has those models. I had what was I going to say? Someone has made a really, really nice. If you go on the Facebook group, a really nice mod for 0200 hours. For replacing it with stormtroopers and rebels, so you have the rebels sneaking around. So you've got the stormtroopers just wandering around as the dumb guards, and trying to find the droids or whatever. And then you've got the rebels sneaking in. So you obviously could do that at 15 or 28 or whatever. That was I thought that was a cracking idea. It's amazing.
That sounds really good, actually. I don't know. I just think with 21 die cut. Yeah, it might have been those. I remember that they weren't any bigger than they weren't bigger than 25. They were quite small. My Jawa was tiny compared to the Wookiee. But they were all metal. They're all metal range. But I think with the average of 3D prints, I think you can probably get any range. But I Dom said the English Civil War.
That is odd, isn't it?
That is odd.
I'd love to know why that's never been.
Well, is it a popular? Is it just a popularity thing? Is it?
But then, if you do, whenever people do polls of periods, it's favorite periods. It's never a top one. It's never first, second, or third, but it's generally up there somewhere, isn't it? It's not like it's completely obscure and people never do it. It's I don't know, just odd. Yeah, like you say, the Waller ones are great. They're lovely models, but when you're only using them in your army, it's a bit tedious. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Cool. Right, let's move on to a bit of news. Have we got news? I think we've got news.
There's a little bit, yeah.
News. Okay.
Always news.
And then we will get back onto the questions.
That's going to be ace when Ken comes back. He's not going to know what's going on when that starts playing.
He doesn't know what's going on anyway when he comes back. Shall I have a start then?
Yeah.
So, I haven't got that much actually. So, AB have got some new 18mm Vistula regiment. Oh, Vistula Legion.
Yes, I saw it. Very nice.
There's some Lancers, look very nice indeed. Odd pictures they put up on Facebook. They're very cut off, but there you go. Some more Lancers there, and some of their infantry. So I think they're coming out next month, December time. So yeah, I know Vistula is one of those regiments that everyone gets very excited about. I must admit, I do. I quite like it. It's a regiment in the Napoleonic Army. Also, your friends at Reconquer, Martin. These December models.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really nice. I do like the guy with the two-handed, or he's using a bastard sword, isn't he? Holding it two-handed wise. That's really nice. Really nice.
Yeah, it's just the beggars, the sort of the.
There's that one, and then there's the beggars, or villagers. I think it's village set D, but they definitely don't look like they've had a hard time of it, don't they?
The guy on the far left has just found out that I'll be leading his unit. No,
we're doomed. Yeah, they do look lovely. He does some amazing figures. So yeah, that's December's offering from Reconquer. And the other one I saw was the latest from the Hellion book series.
Ooh, that's nice.
Italian.
Pavia.
Pavia. So I'll probably get this as well. I've got all the others. They're really nice books. Really, really good detail and interest. If you're interested in the period, Massimo knows his stuff. That is for sure. So
they are they are nice books. They're those couple that I've been sent have been just really, really nice to go through. I have got another one to have a look at, but I'm scared opening it's going to open doors to another project. So.
The butcher of peasants. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
accurate.
What about you, Martin? Anything?
Yes, I did see things. So let's start with. Lucid Eye. James did say he'd seen these. So Lucid Eye do a few things. They've got some quite pulpy ranges for Savage Core, if you like the ideas of sort of Planet of the Apes versus Amazons kind of thing. And to be honest, the miniatures are cool. Amazing. And the Elf King miniatures are as well. But they do their Ziggurat range. Now, they've done sort of Trojan War stuff. They've got some of the Greek gods, but they've done... Now, this might be what tips me, because I've been saying, maybe Trojan War, and, I don't know if you've seen this, Dom.
Already on the way to me, mate.
So they got their Achilles here, which is pretty cool. I like it. Of course, these are all metal. But then look at the Myrmidons.
Yeah,
how cool are they? I love it. It's Myrmidons 1, which means there's going to be more because they do a few packs usually.
And do you know what, Martin? They're on sale at the moment. There's a Black
I
Friday.
know.
So,
But again, if you're doing this, if you're doing like a Trojan War thing, you only need realistically one unit of Myrmidons. You know, but then do you have Achilles as? I mean, you'd have to have Achilles as a hero on his own.
Oh, of course.
It would be quite cool to have him in the middle. Although I suppose you could have a Patroclus, because they look sort of similar. So there, but yeah, so do go and check out Lucid Eye. They have some awesome stuff, and they've got some fun little games as well. So they've got some like pulpy little games on there. So if you're looking for like a Christmas gift or maybe something to do with your mates, go and have a look. Savage Core always, and then the Elf King games I always look at as well, which is written by Rick Priestley. It's going to be a really tight rule set, but I don't think it gets the love that it deserves. Next, oh no, there was one more. So they released this miniature as well. Sorry, and I've forgotten what it's called. But this is from the Jim Fitzpatrick official collection. So it's like, so it's based on that art behind it. It's not. I wish the picture was a bit bigger, but this is Morrigan Nabadab, and yeah, look at that. That's just really, but these are all metal miniatures, so they're very cool, really nice. I think I mean, I know you don't like Metal Steve, but like that website, I don't know if you've ever been on it, but there's dangerous things.
Yes, from what I remember, there could be open wallet surgery. You spend too long on that.
yeah.
Really nice.
Next up, Army Painter have done another painting set deal. You know, because they've done like a John Blanche one, they've got a Grimdark one.
Oh yeah.
They've got things like that. And I like this one. The warp miniatures, you know, the one that I keep looking at. And I think it comes with, I'm pretty sure it comes with that wizard.
Yeah.
Which I thought was brilliant because Arkworld, it does look fun. The miniatures that he keeps putting out are hilarious, but also got lots of characters. So I was quite pleased to see that because it is nice because warp miniatures, you know, I think he's been going about 10 years, but you know, he's a young guy and he's sort of, you know, he's built it up and he's growing, and then obviously getting a sort of a thing like this where you get like a paint set for your game, I think is quite a big thing. So
yeah,
that's awesome. That really is good.
TT Combat have released 5 new sort of futuristic Hive MDF sets. So here's just one of them. That's all that, but that's theirs. Like I think that's just shy of 40 quid for all of that.
Blimey.
Like they're really good deal. So if you're playing Necromunda or you know some kind of weirdos in space game,
it would be awesome for weirdos in space. It really would be.
Yeah. So go, you know, womble on over and have a look at them. Wargames Atlantic are releasing their pulp plastic agents, so 24 agents. But this is what I mean. Like, I don't like these are cool, right? But why not the English Civil War?
Yeah. I know.
These are awesome, and I can see, you know, I think these look to be really cool for things like Spectre or RPGs. I think you could on there you could essentially build John Wick. In a variety of poses, but this is what I mean. I'm like, and I think it's great because obviously having these is great. But are you telling me that somewhere there isn't just someone saying another English Civil War one? How did agent? You know, somewhere agents outvoted that. Do you know what I mean? So this looks very cool.
You know, when they do their blooming polls, the weird shit that gets voted up in that, and the stuff you think there's a myriad of that sort of weird shit. Why do you want that? And then, but something that you really can't get hold of, they just never seems to get anywhere.
No.
I will be definitely picking up because I have got so many different ideas for using them. So many ideas.
Okay, so basically it was Steve. Is what
yeah,
what
basically
it was Steve. Right?
We knew it all along, really.
Next up, last up is Middle Earth strategy battle game have already announced another supplement following on from the War of the Rohirrim. So hopefully they got themselves into gear because it was they released that new edition and it went dry for like 9 months. And this is all about the treachery of Gollum. So when he now I'm going to watch Steed glaze over again. This is where he leads Frodo and Sam into Shelob's caves, and then on the path of Cirithungol, and you've got the orcs that start fighting each other and all of that.
Nice.
But so you've got this supplement, which will be a soft cover, a bit like the War of the Rohirrim one, but it's got like painting guides. I think they're good value. I like the War of the Rohirrim one I've got. I think it's got this big conversion guide about how to turn one of the big Mumakil models in the War of the Rohirrim film. There's like a Mumakil that's gone a bit mental. It's like infected and gone mental. Essentially, it's got rabies, and they show you how to basically sort of convert and kit batch this, so it kind of looks like a zombie Mumakil. I mean, it will cost you a lot of money for all the kits, but it was cool to have the guide. But this comes with some new plastic kits, including, which I thought was cool. Now, this is plastic, a new version of Shelob, which I think looks really cool. Yeah, I think that's much better than the old model. Yeah, I really like that, and I could see that getting a lot of use in beyond, the Lord of the Rings game. I can see people wanting that for role-playing games. I imagine. I mean, I don't want to guess on price, but it is plastic, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be. I mean, the human heroes are about 20, 25 quid a box, and maybe that's going to be 40 to 50 quid, but I don't think it's going to be small. I think that's going to be pretty decent.
And you're paying for the tactical rocks, aren't you, as well? So.
Yeah. I mean, do we let them off in this one? Because technically those are like two sides, because it does crawl across the rocks a lot, doesn't it, in the film?
Oh, it does in the film, yeah. But,
I mean, you're getting part of the mountain on that. But yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I really like that. I might purchase that, but they've also more legs does equal more rocks, Robin. They've got another version of Gollum and Frodo, just for good measure, all wrapped up on the floor, in which is obviously how you want to see him. But yeah, another Gollum. I like that they put the details of his. This sounds a bit grim, but the details of his torture on his back from Barad, from where he's a bit like Sauron's tortured him before, which, yeah. So I was quite impressed by it. That all comes in that set. I think Shelob comes with Gollum and Frodo.
Oh, okay.
I think it's all one. Yeah, I think it's all one set.
That would make sense.
So yeah, that was cool. But yeah, you get all the scenarios and link campaign stuff.
Nice.
In there. Your girlfriend would love it. When you say your girlfriend would love that under the Christmas tree, do you mean the spider? Yeah. So yeah, there we go. That's what I saw. It's been some stuff. Everyone's gearing up for their Black Friday sort of events and that.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking at things. So that's my way of just avoiding.
Dangerous time of the year.
It's dangerous time.
Yeah,
dangerous.
Well, it's dangerous time of the year because I need to go and buy bloody Christmas presents for people. I don't need this temptation.
I vowed this year I won't be doing my Christmas shopping 4 days before the 25th. Every year, I plan. I'm going to plan early. No, I'll leave it to the very, very, very last minute. I don't even wrap presents now. I stick them in bags and just put clothes in with sellotape. Literally, yeah. Not my thing at all. Right, okay. On to the next question. This one's one from David. He's put, I think we can all agree to the mental health benefits of the hobby, creativity, social interaction, sense of community, etc. Despite being relatively niche as hobbies go, is it time we sought broader recognition of the hobby in terms of its public health benefits in the midst of a mental health crisis? As someone trying to get a club off the ground at the college where I work, it's hard enough to get management to see it as little more than a fringe interest, let alone provide us with a pittance of resources to allow us to stay open late to host it, and heaven forbid, some discretionary funding to support such an endeavour.
I mean, it's one of those weird things, isn't it? Every so often, it gets featured somewhere. There was something not that long ago where it was one of the regional BBC TV stations covered. Was it Waterloo or something that the club had been putting on, and that was the one that they talked about. it sort of every so often it sort of creeps into the public consciousness. I mean, it should do. I honestly, yeah. I mean, I think I always, as somebody who sort of worked in and around the media for many years, I always been surprised how little interest there is for that kind of stuff, because it's from a media point of view, it's perfect because it's visually stunning. You know, the look of tables of or individual models of beautiful painted figures and based up and what have you is perfect. And as I've said many times, my daughter maintains it's been the rise of the nerds, and it's definitely that sort of thing is much more popular now generally and much more acceptable. So I'm always surprised it's never quite cracked in. I mean, those of you old enough will remember where there was a TV series for a while with where they did actually refight battles with figures, and it was the most turgid, boring thing in the world. But it was amazing to get it on television. It was BBC Two, I think, wearing suits and all looking very normal. And then there was a thing that I think was it. I can't remember what it was called now. Was it Channel? No, maybe in Channel 4, or maybe in BBC Two. Did for a while where they were refighting various battles using Total War.
Yeah, that
Time Commanders.
Yeah, that would have been about.
That was it. And I always thought that might explode further on, but no, never did. So I know it's bizarre.
That program was so they always got these. My favorite one, I can't even remember which battle they were recreating, but they got like this office in, so the managers automatically became the generals, and then like the people below them took on like the role of the the lieutenant, the company commanders and that. And I'll never forget the it's the Battle of Watling Street. It was the Battle of Watling Street. And I remember this upper manager guy going, I've seen Ben-Hur. Long, thin lines will work for the Romans. So they get all their Romans to long, thin lines, and then all the chariots come over. But then he said, right, let's go on top of the hill. So they all ran away up to the top of the hill. Like, if we just stay on top of the hill, we'll win. So the Romans just stayed at the bottom and shot them. Oh god! I agree. Yeah,
I can set back Wargaming.
Yeah, it probably did. To be fair, but the fact it was on television, on sort of almost mainstream telly, because it was like 9 o'clock in the evening or something, wasn't it? I seem to remember.
I had the one of the seasons. I can't remember which season it was. That had Richard Hammond as the
Yeah. So I thought that might crack it, but it's bizarre. It just never seems to have done it.
I think if they do, I mean, let's face it. I know Warhammer, the 40k is the big draw for the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It just is. Okay, it's massive compared to. You just look at the IP and the license and the media, the computer games, the card games, the role playing games, the board games. You can buy wall art for. Okay, I know you can buy wall art from the Napoleonic War because it's called art, but but if this TV series that they keep threatening to make does come off the ground and you get like an Amazon one, then I think you'll see a bigger. You'll have a bigger draw. You just will. I mean, with the Space Marine game. I mean, there was an article about for GW. In fact, hang on, let me find it. Hang on. I saw this the other day. I think someone posted it to
Yachi about their profits going up again. And
and obviously from where they are already this year. Where is it? It's quite impressive, but I think that would be a big draw for people. It just
do you think it really matters? Because if you think today, less people are watching television and sort of listening to radios and things like that. Newspapers dead. Is it the fact that it's very strong and continues to be strong on places like Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that? It's sort of doing the job already, isn't it?
TV just hits a whole nut. If you have like a series, like a Game of Thrones level series, I won't mention that actually. One of the other, like The Witcher or something like that. It just brings in a whole extra crowd of people because it will just be every. I mean, it's already like here it goes. They've gone up by 11% compared with this time last year. So hang on, where's the? It's gone. At the end of November, the revenue for the 6 months to the end of November was at least 310 million compared to 269 million last year. So their pre-tax profit is forecast to be about 135 million for the half year.
Yeah, they are doing phenomenally well.
Yeah.
I'd
But
agree with
I
Dom,
think
though.
that would bring stuff in.
I'd agree with
Yeah.
Dom when he said that, occasionally they trot out the feel good story.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I could definitely attest to the benefits to mental health that the hobby brings. I've mentioned it. I mean, my last job was very stressful. I didn't like it, but it was a very stressful job. And I used to come home some days just wrecked. But a couple of hours painting at night it just centers me. I've always found that it centers me. And it would be nice if it did get more, a broader recognition. Like David says, clubs being set up, whether it's in, colleges or libraries or schools, etc. It's a difficult one because, I mean, the hobby is well. I mean, I think the hobby is well known at this point, isn't it? I think. I know we've mentioned it loads of times. It's the golden age of the hobby, and it's got loads of exposure. People aren't afraid to tell their friends what they do at the weekends, throwing dice and painting orcs and goblins and things like that. So, but no, I think a broader recognition, I think would be good.
It's weird. I've contacted the BBC twice, the last 2 CrackCons, to try and get them interested in what we do there at CrackCon. So I thought, again, it's visually quite stunning. You got 60, 70 people there all playing toy soldiers and different games and everything, and they never even replied. So it's very, very odd.
They're lost.
They're lost. They'll soon come crawling.
To be honest, it'd be a pain in the arse if they did come down, because they make everything. You make you stop doing things and make you, pose and do things. Weird.
We'd have to lock Ken away.
Oh God, can you imagine Ken? Oh geez, no! Stop me doing it next year. Don't let me do it next year.
Okay, the next one is from Rory. This is a fun one. What's your biggest hobby regret? A rule set that looked the business but sucked to play. Spent tons on models that sucked to build or paint. Get out of a system because no one played that became popular later.
4 little letters. I'll give you that one.
Oh, are we doing one for each, or is it just one?
No, just what your biggest hobby regret and what the reason was.
Oh God. Starting. I could own my house if we did.
I guess the only thing, the one I've sort of slightly
sorry.
Okay, thanks for that one. I guess the one I slightly regret sort of stopping was I guess broadly the one I regret is more around sort of dropping rule sets just because a new version comes along, or so I can remember having great fun playing 7th edition, for instance, WRG, and then DBA came out, which was a pile of dog do, and everyone changed over to that, and I regret following the crowd on that. Same with Warhammer Ancient Battles. I really enjoyed that as a rule system, and then when they stopped supporting it, everyone moved off to something else, and I should have just stuck my guns and carried on doing it. So that sort of thing's regret, I guess. But I don't think I've got that many regrets around the hobby, particularly.
No, I wouldn't say I do. Trying to think.
What about you, Steve, while Martin's thinking?
Mine would be about 10 years ago. I went all in on Rebel Assault. I bought the core game. I bought loads of expansions. I bought loads of individual add-ons for the Rebel Troopers. I had all the characters. All arrived, and I didn't like the game, and I hated the figures. That was.
Apart from that,
that was just a regret. Apart from that, it was brilliant. But I just didn't enjoy the game. I only played a couple of games of it. I didn't enjoy it. The figures were just abysmal, absolutely abysmal. They're just bendy. They had bendy guns and bendy everything. I don't want my wargaming figures to be bendy. And so that I sunk a lot of money into that in one big purchase. And I don't know why. I don't know why I did it. It was just a massive regret. But apart from that, I think that would be the last time I went full in on something, like both feet on, like properly into it, and then within sort of 3 or 4 weeks thinking, yeah, that's a massive regret. I shouldn't have done that.
I think one of the good things about historical versus weird shit is, from that point of view, is that even if you regret the rule system is just one that doesn't work, the figures are still appropriate for something else. So you kind of, if the figures are dog do, then that's different. But if you don't like the rule system that comes out, there's always something else you can move on to, isn't there? Whereas if it was very generic and set to a particular thing, it's a bit difficult.
Of all the Rebel Assault figures, I've used one of them, and it was this dog thing with a big tail and a massive mouth. I painted it up for. I used that in Games of the Doomed as a as an evil bad guy, but the rest of it was just largely useless.
I mean, everyone knows I regret buying those 6mm samurai. I don't know if they constitute just such a big enough hump in my life to consider a regret. To be one,
no, they were.
Paint
they were more of an inconvenience. They were more of an inconvenience.
They were just. It was just. Yeah, they were a lesson. That was just a lesson. It was
more of a confirmation that you don't like 6mm.
It was just like what the problem was at the time I was thinking, because I've got them up there. I got some David's got like, so I've got some 6mm ACW up there, and I was thinking, and I've painted up like a whole load of them, and I had this idea of doing a 6mm ACW thing. And then I did that, and then I wouldn't have painted those samurai if Ken hadn't have made that ludicrous claim that he was going to paint it. And I just painted it. I was like, no, this is not. So that would happen. So is that regret? I don't really know. Do I regret any? I don't really regret any of my wargaming purchases per se. I'm looking around, trying to see if there is any regret on my shelves at the minute. No, I've been quite good recently. I kind of do that thing they say you should do with a tattoo, which is you think about a project for long enough. I don't buy it straight away. I nearly did this at Warfare. I nearly sunk a load of money into a bunch of 15mm stuff. And I decided to walk away. And now I'm sitting there thinking, oh no, I'm not thinking about it now because I can't see it in front of me. Therefore, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to be a little bit cliche and say I don't really have any wargaming regrets. I think I've lived. I think I don't even regret selling stuff because I wouldn't have played it. I wouldn't be using it. I wouldn't be playing with it. I wouldn't miss it. I don't know. I have plenty of other regrets. Plenty of others.
Yeah, we don't go on to that. We all got those.
I regret selling my red box edition of Dungeons and Dragons when I was about 14 to Simon Orr, who lived in Teversham, and I sold it to him for about 12 quid. The original red box D&D. I regret doing that. I got in contact. I was actually in touch with him a couple of years ago, and I asked him what happened to it, and he said that when he moved house, it had been completely flattened. And done up with tape, so he just chucked it in the bin.
My best mate sold his original boxed AT-ATs for 12 quid.
Ooh.
I don't bring that up around him. It gets the stressed Eric vein in his head whenever you mention it. It's one of his
stressed Eric. I forgot. Stressed Eric was brilliant.
One of his biggest regrets. Right, what we're going to do is move to the. I'm going to save because we got a lot of the questions. We can save them for another episode. So I'm being really lazy there. So what I'm going to do is move on to the ones that people have asked in the chat tonight. So first up, one for me. What colour do you use for late war German uniform and US Rangers? I've never painted US Rangers, and I've only ever painted 12 US infantry at 28mm in my entire life. But I can't remember what I used. For late war German uniform, I used German field grey as a base, and from that I used bronze green. I had different colours, just greens upon greens, and then thread a bit of khaki and a bit more green. So that's what I do. Martin, what do you use for your late war Germans?
I like if I'm going to paint Germans, I like getting ones in just the field grey uniform, and I get the hang on, he makes it. Hang on, it's back here. Hang on, you didn't think I was going to have an answer to this. Where is it? Is that it? I use that, which is just a German grey spray, and I just did the whole lot. The Wargames Atlantic ones did that, wax and wash on it, done. That was there you go. That's my answer. That's what I use. I just bought spray paint.
Dom, how about you?
I'm with. That's exactly how I did. The last Germans I did were 15 mils, and that's exactly how I did them. Huh. Sorry, that and a wash over the top. Bob's your auntie.
Good stuff. So everyone from Major Clanger, a request, please. It would be great if you PCP chaps could do a 28mm game, Wars the Roses, or even better, Napoleonics game, film it and show it.
We do talk about this quite a lot, but we would have to. We've got to arrange to meet up when there's no other sod around. Yeah. I do it, although we'd probably have to invite someone to film it. That would probably be the best way to do it. And I think the only place that we'd be able to hear is we'd just all go around Dom's house.
Yeah, you can come around here and we'll do it. What would we fight though? What game would we do?
Well,
what would be?
Yeah,
I'd be flailing around in a hazmat suit anyway, so anyone would suit me.
What are you saying about coming around here? I mean, it's fair, but you know.
No, it is something we've talked about. I think one day, when the stars have aligned, I think we will. Yeah.
We shall do it.
We'll do it.
Oh, we could, but period. So it'd have to be. Although we maybe just have to do a weekend, and we do Napoleonics one day, and then Medievals the next day. Steve would obviously have to be either like in control of either militia for the for the Napoleonics, and then obviously take control of the peasants for the Wars of the Roses. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, can you imagine the sheer array of weird beers on display though? Oh.
I'm still trying to get over the ones that we. Oh, I drank. I told you I had that. I drank that one on.
Right. Widow. Yeah.
I tried that. That was nice. That rice lager that I had called Kaiju. That was so lively in the glass. It was weird. It was so fizzy. So fizzy. It was really nice.
Looked good.
But the cost and strength of it would made it prohibitive.
Get some of those in them. One from Mark. Recommendation for 28mm unarmored Celtic cavalry other than Warlord. I may be wrong, but they seem pricey and a bit odd looking.
They are odd looking. It's because the horses are metal and the legs are molded onto the horses, and then there's a plug, and you stick the top half of the plastic infantry body into the plug.
Yeah.
And the horses are. The horses are they're just not buy Victrix. Yeah. That's basically it. They're really close to the belly of the horse is like touching the ground. They look like dogs.
Does anybody else make them or?
Yeah, Victrix.
Victrix do.
Victrix have and Foundry have nice metals as well.
First Core have some nice metals. There's lots of nice metals out there, but if you want plastic, then really you're talking Victrix.
Yeah, just go to Victrix. Let's go to Victrix.
Yeah. One from Ollie Wargaming of Kent. I think we might have done this. One plastic kit you wish someone would release. What would it be?
ECW, an alternative ECW.
There we go.
ECW / 30 Years War set. That was easy,
Mine would
wasn't it?
be plastic World War II fins.
Plastic. Well, you said, yeah, you've had that one. Yeah. I mean, why do you want plastic? Just do metal. There you go.
What you, Dom? Any plastic kit? Or you even Martin with the ECW 30 Years War?
I mean, that's the one that, I mean, I don't really like plastic kits, full stop. So, well, actually, that's not true. I do like the Wargames Atlantic ones. I've got these latest ones are very good, but I still would rather not. I've spent flipping, how long have we been on this stream? I've made up about 4, 8, 12, 16 figures, and it's like, I could have painted twice as many of that in that time. It's ridiculous. I know. Give me one, unless there's someone that actually comes out with one-piece plastics, that'll be fine. I'll do that.
Like green toy soldiers.
Yeah, okay. Proof that my ideas are not good.
One from Trevor. I like many people do solo games. What rules would you recommend for big battles for solo play? Find most rules of the 2 players for the solo rules written are very poor mechanics.
I have no skin in this game.
No, me neither.
Dom, you have to floor
Dom,
you play solo.
this is all over to you, mate.
Well, I mean, it's a fair point. I don't think there's that many that are perfectly designed for, not very good for proper solo play. But I do think I mean, I do play a fair bit solo in here. I haven't done for a while actually, but I think the simplest answer is where there is some sort of activation mechanic that's variable or isn't certain to happen, then I think it works as a solo game. It's like, the Black Powder series of games, love them or hate them, they have that activation system that's just a random dice roll. You're rolling the dice, and so there's a certain variability which I find really easy to then play solo, because I can really act it how it would be, and you can't sort of fiddle it for your side that you prefer, which you can sometimes do with other rule systems. I'll just move up to this wood, knowing full well that next turn the other troops are going to come pouring out and run you down, because you don't know whether you're going to be able to come out the wood and charge out or whatever when you've got that randomness in there. So I don't think I've got any rule system that is entirely designed to be random, to be solo. There's oh god, what is it? Men Will Be King. That has a solo mechanic in it, which just seems a bit daft. So I always play that. Even that one I'll play, like I'm playing each side individually, and I'll try and play it the way I would have played it if I was playing the game against an opponent. So I don't know. So I'm not really good on it either, really.
No, I don't. If I solo game, I don't do big battles. Mine are skirmish games. I mean, occasionally I'll do a sort of 1,000-point bolt action game, but most of the time I just play solo skirmish on 2x2, 3x3 boards. So
yeah. Sorry, I'm sure somebody's out there will be able to do a good job on it.
Someone says bloody big battles in the.
Interesting.
One for you, Dom. From Dom, will your dragon rampant orcs be venturing back onto the table, onto the field soon?
I don't know. Possibly. Alec and I do talk about having another game. I think he's keen to have a game of Hail Caesar next, so that'll probably be before that. But never say never, you lucky folks. It may rear its head again. But check out Alec's Wargames hobby. He's always got lots of Dragon Rampant games.
To be fair, Dom's used his fantasy army more than Ken used his.
That's very true. It's very true. Yeah. I'm so pleased I didn't get rid of that army. See, it's another proof why you shouldn't get rid of armies. Because I was actually I looked at, when you haven't seen an army out the box for years, and you get it out and you go, well, actually, I did a pretty good job with them. And I did. I looked at it and thought, I even put strings on the bows and all sorts. You could tell it was lockdown. I had nothing else to do.
I've not looked at my turnip armies for over 2 years.
Blimey.
They're
You
all
really
been
have had your moment, haven't you? God.
they've all been packed away. I've not played it in years, so yeah, I'm about to dig those out and have a look because I always enjoyed playing those. Okay, one from Carl. Don't just give me a thought. What inaccessible or very difficult to get to battlefield would you like to visit most? Hoth.
Yeah, okay, he wins.
Yeah. There you go, done.
I would like to go to Issamwana, and it's not that it's inaccessible. It's just that it would cost me a lot of money to go there and I have a family that I would have to either bring with me, which I don't want to do because I want to just go and have a good look, or I'd have to get time off from. So that's the reason that it's prohibitive.
It's a good question, actually. What I would like to do Issamwana as well, but not so much. I'd like to. And it's not inaccessible, but I've never had the chance to do it. And probably similar story to Martin. Family and Elaine's very understanding with a lot of this stuff. But I would love to go around all the some of the American Civil War battlefields, because I think so much of them is still there.
Yeah,
you can go up to so many other battlefields. There's just nothing to see. It's very difficult to see. I did get to see Waterloo a few years ago. Dragged some business people out that I was on, going to a business meeting in Brussels, and we had a afternoon free, and they said, "What are you doing?" And I went, "I'm going to Waterloo," and they went, "Really? Is that close?" Yeah. So we all went to Waterloo. I had a great time. They were bored as anyway. That would be, but yes, I guess inaccessible, somewhere like something like, or someone just put Stalingrad or something like that would be fascinating to see, or the Borodino battlefield. I don't know whether there's anything to see at Borodino, but that would be an amazing one to see. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh. Well, really good question. Like I say, I've got about 10 saved for the next time we do one of these. So that's in the bank for the next time we do a Q&A episode. Thanks everybody. That was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and by quick as well. That's really good.
Good stuff. Right, let's have a look at some of what's been posted up in the Facebook group over the past week. As I mentioned before, there's a link down to the group in the description below. Answer the questions, and then answer the questions. Please answer the questions, and don't invite. I don't think that's terrible. Don't invite people, because if you invite someone, they don't get the questions, and then they don't get let in.
And they get very upset by that. So it's not right.
We release the hounds at that stage. Right. So we're going to start off with Alid, who is currently into the Last War, and he's been painting up some Russians and some British.
He's been a busy bee again, hasn't he? Look at him.
What's this?
The Last War. It's a World War One sort of equivalent version of Forbidden Psalm.
What's that? Oh, that's the one that you have. That's the one that you have.
I've not got Forbidden Psalm, no.
What's the one that you have?
That was a War Transformed, wasn't it, or whatever?
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
This though, it's all the figures are done by War Games Atlantic, so you can buy for about 70 quid. You get a starter box, and you get enough figures in there for a Russian, British, German, and French sort of war band, and you get some Gribblies in there as well. And it's all played on a 2x2 board, and it's World War weird.
Awesome. So can we expect a video from Alex fairly soon on that one then?
I will be disappointed if he doesn't do one. I will be massively, massively disappointed. Alex, make it so. Up next is Addy, who's been working on some Escher. Ooh, do love me a bit of Escher.
That is cool.
They're brilliant.
I like the yellow.
Really, really good. Yeah, yellow's fantastic. Lovely stuff. You painted much Escher recently, Dom?
Didn't he do music? Wasn't he a singer, Escher? Oh, I don't know.
That's Usher.
Move on. Move on. No
See,
idea.
I'm down with hip hop and R&B.
You
Right. Martin mentioned Ogre. Blood Bowl before earlier. Here we have from Andrew a Blood Bowl Ogre blocker.
He's a big chap, isn't he?
Yeah,
Blimey, look at him.
vibes. Yeah, that is really, really good. Actually. That's what I love about Blood Bowl, is just that there's so many figures, different shapes and sizes and all kinds. Brilliant stuff. Now, ordinarily, what we don't normally do is more than one photograph of someone's post, but in this case, I'm going to make an exception because I didn't have the words for this. So Andrew posted some of his the fruits of his labour and his Italian Wars project. Now, bearing in mind, this is 28 mil.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
Holy smoke!
That's very cool.
Very good indeed. Very impressive, sir. I salute you.
That is, and there's another view of them. Look at that!
That is a shit ton. That's a unit of measurement, by the way. Wow.
Although, if you meet Yorkshire Ken, he'd probably want you to combine everything into one pike block.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be happy.
No.
Up next is DJ, who's been painting some epic AWI British. Doo-doo.
Oh, nice. Oh, great.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, I like
They're
that.
lovely. They're really nice. And kudos for painting 3 of the worst colours to paint at that scale.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Oh, God, mine would look horrific. Mine would look like I'd used my feet in the dark. But they're stunning. They're really, really nice. Sticking with small scale, these are 10 mil. So these are Epic Warpath. These are by Paul. 10 mil.
Wow.
Oh, I saw that he was doing these. Yeah, they're cool.
You're not tempted, Dom?
Jesus.
They're great. Check out Paul's post in the Facebook group. He's posted a lot more of the stuff he's been working on, and it's really, really nice stuff. Up next is Pat with some Saracen cavalry.
Oh, nice. Always like some cavalry.
Very, very colourful.
Someone else has painted them.
Yes.
I bet that was a nice break from Austrians, wasn't it, Pat? Something other than white, but no, they're really nice. I just love the really good mix of colours on them.
Nice.
So Paul has been posting a picture of one of the games he's been playing. He's been playing Charlie Don't Surf. Look at that! Whoa!
It's a lot of trees.
Table. Yeah.
Very nice.
Like that. That's a bit of a corker. That's brilliant.
Nice.
And again, Paul's posted quite a few pictures of his game. Go and check that out.
Nice.
Silas has been working on a bit of Judge Dredd.
Oh, cool.
Very good.
Excellent.
He's the law.
Do love me a bit of Dredd. These are a definite throwback from Ruri. Some Dire Avengers from the 1990s.
Oh my God, I remember them.
Lovely. Absolutely. Do you know what I did to 2 of mine? I cut their heads off and replaced them with plastic elves. Wish I hadn't done that. Yeah.
There's a regret straight away.
That's regret. And also the fact that I don't actually own them anymore either. I don't know where the hell they are, but they are brilliant. It's just a classic colour scheme as well. The blue and white. Oh, lovely. Sticking with 40k, a bit more modern stuff. Stephen's been working on some ultramarines. Look at those.
Look at the swords.
Wow.
The effects on the sword. That's cracking stuff.
Stunning work. And up next is Tony. He's been working on some Corsair Void Scarred.
Nice. Oops.
That blue is lovely. That's a striking blue. Really nice. And returning from weirdness to a bit more historical stuff is Vout, and he has. I had to check that these were actually 15 millimeter chariots.
Oh wow!
So they're Persian chariots. I couldn't believe they were 15 mil. I don't know
Yeah,
what
these I've been looking at these. When I saw his post last time, I was like, "Oh, those are very, very nice." But I don't think I can do as nice a job as he's done. They are awesome.
They are absolutely brilliant. Again, I did like a double take. Come
What's the
on.
manufacturer? Do anyone know?
It was that one we were looking at, Dom. It was the one we were looking
Forged
at,
in War.
the Hittites. No, the one the 3D one.
Those ones. Oh yeah. Oh god, I can't remember. Yeah, I know the ones you mean.
I have them somewhere. I have a tab saved on my my internet with them all on. Hang on a second. I'll find them.
Brilliant. So again, link to the Facebook group. Always amazed with the sheer diversity of stuff that people are working on. Different games, conflicts, periods, scales, miniatures, awesome stuff. And I think we all love seeing it. It's a great place to post. And there we are. We're officially in overtime, 2 minutes past 10. And I really enjoyed that. That was a great chin.
That was awesome.
Many different questions. Thanks for everyone to post the questions in the Facebook group as well. Really appreciate that. We'll get to the second lot the next time we do a Q&A episode. There we go. So next week, where are we? Where are we next week?
We should be on my channel. There's an outside chance I won't be able to, but I'll let you guys know. And I think we should post a question that's just been sent to me on an email. I'll leave you with this. So because I like obviously doing the research and I go for quite a lot of academic journals, I like getting them in. So I signed up. I access quite a lot, but I use my 7th son email address. So I've just been sent this. Are you the 7th son, or are you the 7th that wrote the effects of phenolchlorpheneron application on the induction of parthenocarpic fruit and the fruit quality in watermelon under greenhouse conditions in the Journal of in the Korean Society of Horticultural Science?
Are you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The answer is yes.
That's that. You know, you asked about what my biggest regret was. So no, we should be on my channel. Of course, there's only 3 episodes left, I think, until Christmas. We'll be popping up the stream menu for December, and of course, this is all leading the way to Quamageddon and the PCP bingo, which James better be getting on and putting together, quite frankly.
And that lager.
Oh god, yeah, that lager.
God, yeah, I forgot about that. On that, yes. So yes, it should be on me. It should be on me.
Brilliant. Right, we'll keep a look on the Facebook group. We'll get something up. And yes, big thanks to everyone joining us. Thanks to everyone that's watching on the catch up. Don't forget, sponsored by Boards and Swords Hobbies. Use the code PCP5 while checking out for an additional 5% off your already discounted purchase. Links to channels, share, like, subscribe, comment. Post.
Chill.
Right. Have a great hobby week, everybody, and we shall see you somewhere next Monday. See you, everybody.
Bye-bye.